Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light. Sounds bad on the surface, but trust me when I say that's how a 10-year-old kid would have expressed their excitement for this toy line in 1986. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and this is the history of Kenner's Ghostbusters. Kenner's Ghostbusters starts all the way back in 1975 with the live-action children's TV show produced by Filmation called Ghostbusters. It starred Forrest Tucker, Larry Storch, and a gorilla credited as trained by Bob Burns that looks suspiciously like a man in a gorilla suit. For 15 episodes, the three Ghostbusters investigated paranormal occurrences not unlike Scooby-Doo and the gang. However, their ghosts and monsters were real and had to be dematerialized back to the netherworlds from which they came. Fast forward 9 years to 1984, Columbia Pictures has a little film in production about three paranormal investigators that has absolutely no narrative connections to the 1975 Filmation series, but they really want to call it Ghostbusters. Cool, Filmation? Filmation agrees to license the name Ghostbusters to Columbia for $500,000 and also 1% of the profits from the film, which sadly there were none because Ghostbusters was a total box office failure. No, wait, it made $230 million against an estimated budget of $30 million. Needless to say, Columbia had a hit on its hands and immediately started production on a toy line and, of course, an animated series to promote it. Filmation was super happy that their faith in Columbia and their negotiating gambit had paid off, so they put together a pitch for a Ghostbusters cartoon based on the successful Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd film, to which Columbia replied, Yeah, thanks, but we're doing our own cartoon thing. Oh, also, while you're here, we reran the numbers on the movie, and while I know it looks like we made a lot of money, just so much money, you're just going to have to trust us on this. There's no profits. I don't know what we spent it all on. Nobody does. We're terrible at this. Filmation decides to get revenge/cash in on the name of the property, which they still own by producing their own Ghostbusters cartoon and toy line, continuing the adventures of the pre-existing live-action TV show universe from the 70s with the car-driving, ghost-hunting gorillas and stuff. Filmation's Ghostbusters debuts within a week of the debut of Columbia's The Real Ghostbusters based on the hit film. Meanwhile, Kenner Toys, the people who brought you Hugo Man of 1,000 Faces, the Scotty Bagpipe, the Freeze Queen Ice Cream Machine, and Star Wars Masks, Superpowers, and Silverhawks, were already hard at work on a new line of Ghostbusters toys based on the popular cartoon based on the blockbuster hit film that didn't make any money. Hitting toy shelves for the first time late in 1986, Kenner's Ghostbusters were a 5-inch scale, 5-point of articulation line of action figures complemented by a series of full-size role-play toys you could actually wear and use to shoot your eyes, your siblings' eyes, shoot all the eyes out. The 5-inch action figure line began with simple figures based on the character models from the cartoon, which means that Egon was a blonde, unlike Harold Ramis, the actor who portrayed Egon in the film, who was not. In fact, most of the characters from the cartoon had, at best, passing resemblances to their movie counterparts. You know, I can't even go that far. I don't know where these likenesses came from. They're not even good caricatures of the actors. But hey, the figures look like the TV show, and that's where the marketing magic happens. The first wave featured the core 4 Ghostbusters as well as a 7-inch 3-point of articulation Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and a Green Ghost, aka Slimer figure, who came with a mind-bending set of 3 different food accessories, steak, watermelon, and pizza. 'Twas truly a golden age of toys. Each of the core figures came with a translucent plastic ghost to capture, a proton pack, and a wand which could be attached to their arm. The wand had a plastic particle stream extending from the end of it, which makes for a great play feature, but for terrible, non-powered display 30 years later in the future. 1987 saw a logical expansion of the line with new full-size action ghosts, an Ecto-1 with working ghost claw and swiveling blaster seat, not to mention opening doors and rear hatch, and things got real with the introduction of gimmicks that all revolved around mucus. Ectoplasm. From there, Kenner maintained the momentum riding the crest of a show that would run for a total of 140 episodes over 7 seasons from 1986 through 1992, and of course the film Ghostbusters 2 released in 1989. All of the core characters would see multiple variations released with a variety of action play features. Janine Melnitz and Louis Tully would join the fight, and there was never a shortage of monsters and ghouls to refresh the line, and oh yeah, the Ghostbusters Firehouse headquarters playset complete with working and containment unit. Concurrently, Kenner was producing full-size roleplay items like a Proton Pack, which included a Ghostbusters logo armband, an ID card, a PKE meter, and of course a neutrino wand with a soft foam noodle extending from the tip. Ghost traps, water zappers, Kenner wanted you to live in the world of Ghostbusters. They were even able to resurrect a Nerf competitive product of their own from 1979 called Finger Pops and incorporate it into the Ghostbusters line. Finger Pops were the original name of the giant foam pellets, the ammunition for several of the Ghostbusters roleplay items, including the Ecto Popper and the Ecto Goggles. And you know, in retrospect, it would be tough to actually shoot an eye out with one of those foam poppers, unless you were really trying to, or things had just gone terribly, terribly wrong. But if that were the case, you were probably in violation of Kenner's suggested usage, so that's on you and your own dumb eyes. Like every successful line that lasted longer than the original designers could have ever possibly dreamed, Kenner's Ghostbusters has several items that were never released, because in 1991, 2 years since the release of Ghostbusters 2, and with no plans for a third film, Kenner's parent company Tonka was acquired by Hasbro, who ended the line so Kenner could focus on Batman, Aliens, Predator, and Roberto Alomar. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, subscribe if you aren't already a subscriber, share this video, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/toygalaxy if you're in the position to help the channel grow, and let us know in the comments if Ghostbusters was your thing. Movies I liked, but the cartoon and toys were just never able to make any headway into an already jammed TV and toy selection. Like, get in line, I've already got my stuff here. You're not getting in. You're not getting in.
Cut.